Hello and welcome back to week 2 of my mini pilot devlog series about remaking my old game Desolite Tanks. If you didn't know, Desolite Tanks is a game much inspired by Battle City, which is one of the earlier games made by Namco, and I've remade it with a slight touch of originality such as bosses and new tank types. Desolite Tanks 2 is the, well, the supposed better version of the old one, but we'll have to wait and see if that's really the case. If you like what I do, drop a like, it helps a lot. Alright, so Monday was more of a rest day for me. I've also been taking up Unreal Engine as a new skill set to add to my toolbox. I've been quite scared to tackle it for a while now and just decided that since it's the semester break here, I might as well do it while I still have the time. There wasn't any progress with the game today, so let's just move on to Tuesday. For Tuesday, I've decided that I would finally try to achieve a type of look that is the combination of outlines and cell shading to create a Toon shader. Now for the outline shader, I must give credit to Robin Sable, whose devlogs are just on another level. Do check his channel out, he has some good stuff. Overall, Tuesday concluded with a subjectively good looking shader. I was pleased with the result as it was what I envisioned the new game to look like. Next, Wednesday. Now, Wednesday to Friday, I spent the time finishing up the damage system and the base level system, as promised from the previous week. I created a little event system, which, I'll be honest, isn't the most optimized and clean, but it gets the job done. Typically, when an object gets created or pulled, it's then directly sent out to be used in the game. I've modified my code in a way that an entity manager checks for certain interfaces that signifies whether or not an object listens to a particular event, and then subscribes them to that object firing the event before sending them out to be used in the game. This way, I can easily mark which object needs to listen to what event just by adding an interface. On the surface, it sounds pretty cool, until you realize that as I add more events, this if statement starts to grow and grow. And until I find a way to generalize these events, this is a major problem with this technique. With that aside, it works pretty well. The pathfinding manager listens to one of the events and updates the obstacle map to make sure that destroyed obstacles are actually destroyed to the pathfinding AI. I then created a simple mob loot spawner that drops coins, and you guessed it, it listens to an entity updater. The level manager is up and running as well. Basic stuff like creating the player, tying the camera to follow the player. I've also made the level manager a state machine, which essentially just gives me more freedom to stitch together states and create new game modes should I ever have the time. Overall, the game is starting to shape up and the code base is a slightly more organized than its ancestor. I'll definitely look into more ways to better structure my code so that I do not end up with spaghetti code yet again. Next week, I'll be focusing on getting different entity states as well as player respawning to ultimately get a simple game loop up and running. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.